Under this head cover is Ping's latest and greatest forgiving invention. This could be an absolute game changer for golfers all around the world, and in today's video we are putting it through its paces, not only out here in the golf course, but also in the studio and also in the hands of the worst short game golfer I've ever seen. Hi everyone, my name's James and welcome back to this YouTube channel. So Ping's new bunker golf club. This is very much along the lines of the Ping chipper. Who remembers that? But also it's designed to help you create a little bit of an arsenal in your golf bag for all those different shots.
On our way down that, aren't it?
Ooh. So first things first, it's obviously designed for bunkers, but I also think it's designed for more than that. It's designed for around the greens, it's designed for shots into the green, and you'll see a bit later on when we jump inside that I honestly think that this club potentially has more hidden uses than what Ping specifically did design it for. So spec wise, it's 64 degrees of loft, it has 14.5 degrees of bounce, so a huge camber on there, and essentially it's made for the bunkers, but I want to really put this club through its paces and see just how good it can really be, because if you do struggle with short game, potentially it could be that bit of a game changer for you. You can also see we have a nice elongated grip as well, so we can potentially grip down on that just a little bit. Now there's no getting around, this thing does look strange. It's obviously got that Ping eye shape on the back, so we've got that kind of full groove tech up into the toe, and there's almost too much loft on it for this kind of situation. You can see you've got to have a lot of backswing there to create the speed to be able to get the shot, and you can see that this is a really quick chip that very quickly runs away from it. Now you can see also that we've got lots of camber on the bottom, and even there where it's a little bit of a muddy lie, it's not saved me too much. There's quite a sharp leading edge still there, and Brett can't wait to test this.
Very excited.
In a few moments time.
Oh.
So let's just see. That's the shot that I like with that. So because it's 64 degrees off, it pops right up, stops quickly, and you can see just kind of how difficult this shot is that we are trying to play. And even these little kind of delicate chips, I think with this club, you can really start to get nice and aggressive with it. You know that if you hit it nice and hard, it's going to spin just like that one, and you know it's going to really bump up into the air and then stop pretty quickly. So you're taking out a lot of the different potential hazards, as it were, and that's the one where you really get away with it if you catch it a little bit duffy. And I certainly feel like an area like this, so we're now on the other side of the green, the flag's on more of that upslope, but we are short-sided, so you can see just how far I've swung back there and just how you can still get this coming out fairly low. It doesn't necessarily have to fly up in the air, but even just hitting behind it there with this short-sided shot, we're getting pretty good results. We're getting shots where, if this is your nemesis, say if I even slowed down like a lot of golfers would, we're still getting a good shot out there. I feel like I'm not necessarily doing anything particularly well, but the ball's just wanting to come out because there's that much bounce on here. Very similar to the old Bigfoot wedge, potentially from TaylorMade. You can really hit some nice shots with this club. Now this shot here could potentially be known as the hardest shot in golf. If you ask golfers around the world, what shot do you hate? It's not always the bunker shot. It's the shot over the bunker that ultimately leads to the bunker shot. So if we can have a club here where we have that loft and all we have to do is potentially hit it nice and hard for shots like that, is this again an area where, did this club need to be called bunker? Have Ping had a bit of a kind of disaster with the branding and the naming of this club? I thought that was the case with the chipper. I think they would have sold so many other clubs, or more clubs should I say, if they hadn't have called it that. And you can see that this could be that same issue, because the fact that I can just play a nice square face shot, I can still hit it heavy and not go in the bunker, is a real coup for anyone who wants to be able to just do this time after time. I find actually the shallower you get with this, the more success that you have, because you're taking away any option whatsoever of that leading edge potentially digging in. Now, if you're a golf coach and you're teaching someone who really struggles with this shot, this could be a fantastic option. So now we jump into one of Woolley Park's new bunkers with a huge lip on, as you can see, and this is where this club could potentially be that game changer. 64 degrees of loft, we know that we're going to have to hit this nice and hard. You can see that one came out too well, and essentially here, I'm not a bad bunker player usually. I quite like the idea of opening the club up and trying to hit it hard, but you don't need to do that with this square face. You can look at that. Oh! You can essentially just play it square faced, use that 14.5 degrees of bounce. And what I'm doing there to get those strikes really good is hit behind the ball a couple of inches. We all know that's what you're supposed to do from a bunker, but with this excessive bounce, you can really just start to get that ball popping out every single time. And that's hopefully what we're going to see in the hands of our mid-handicap struggler in a few moments' time. It's so easy to get out that.
It looks good.
We have picked the world's hardest flag location, haven't we, in fact?
We have.
Now, a lot of people may be wondering, yes, the new Ping bunker iron does look fantastic and forgiving for short game, but what if I struggle from 100 yards, 80 yards? Just how far can it potentially go? So we'll hit a couple in here. It actually looks very, very high lofted. I'm going to move the pin to about 70 yards. So we're going to have to really control the loft here. It's obviously not designed for this, but we're getting a bit of spin on there, and we're potentially looking at just how this can help, because I mean, look, this is the strangest looking golf club, to be honest, I've ever seen, and it doesn't feel like it's made for shots like this. I'm hitting that full. Maybe I'm just totally wrong. So I've hit that full. It's pitched 200. It's pitched 63 yards. It's come right out the middle of the face. It's nearly gone in at 70. So potentially, could this be a club where if you know your distance and you know how far it's going to go, it could be that club that really helps you from this distance? Because I'm aware that this is a distance golfers struggle with, and you struggle because it's that half shot. Now you're not hitting a half shot, you're hitting a full shot. They're pitching pretty much the same every time, and you can see that I'm actually striking them the same every time as well out of that face. So it's not generating a load of spin, but there's loads of kind of cavity back here, so there's loads of perimeter weighting around this head, and it's just helping us, maybe even though the strike isn't perfect, get that shot we're trying to play. Could this be part of the club, and I've struck that more out the middle, so that's that strike more out the middle that you can see there. Could this be part of the club that Ping didn't really know they were designing, similar to when they released the chipper? So you could have a chipper and a bunker in your golf bag if you struggle around the greens, and it could be the answer to lots of different shots that, to be honest, Ping didn't know they were designing for, but ultimately it can really help you improve your golf. Let's get back out there. Let's put it more in some situations where potentially this is designed for. But I think Ping are onto a bit of a winner here, and I don't think they really know why. I'm really enjoying this. I've kind of got used to just how it looks down here and just try and compress it. Like that one. That could go in, that go on then. Delightful. And the really interesting thing here is if you are a good short game player, if you do like the idea of a versatile wedge, this probably isn't going to be for you, but essentially if you really struggle...
Why did you turn the camera then?
I'm just introducing... How are you doing, mate? You okay?
Nice to see you.
Yeah, very good, yeah. So Brett, there's no getting around. You have struggled in the past with short game.
Yes, very much
I can
so.
put a montage on screen.
Yeah, we can do that.
What do you think? Look at this.
It's like you just described. Quite a large face, big soul. So, fingers crossed.
Are you trying to get me not to be able to see that?
Sorry, I'm just quick.
But essentially, I think what Ping are trying to do here is create a little bit of an arsenal in your bag where if you had a chipper and a bunker, yeah, it could be a nice
the one.
Little...
It is something that maybe would help me.
So not necessarily a club for this kind of area, but you can see just how hard that flag position is to get at with that big slope there. So I've not really hit any close, but let's see if it helps you with the strike initially here, then we'll jump in the bunker. Looking down it, how does it make you feel?
Nervous.
Nervous?
I don't know, it just feels a little bit big, but I suppose you'd, yeah, let's see.
Oh, look at that.
Hello there. Well,
That's
I'm not
fantastic.
nervous. I'm not nervous now.
And the key here is all you really need with that loft and with that bounce is an element of speed. If you can really hit this with some club head speed, it's going to go up in the air.
Yeah.
Then it's just gauging how far it goes.
That's a bit softer, that one.
A little bit soft.
Yeah.
How's that bounce helped you?
A lot, to be
Do you feel
honest.
like that's one that would have probably finished there?
Yeah. Yeah. Or a thin because I've got nervous on it. But that's, yeah. You can really see a difference in that, if I'm honest. Try and get one a bit closer. That's the one. After talking to it.
So it's not, unfortunately, it's not a miracle worker.
It's not a
but
miracle
again,
worker.
this isn't really what it's designed for, but I wanted to see just if it could help.
It's no miracle.
Right, let's see what Brett can do out of the bunkers, because bunkers are somewhere where so many golfers struggle. This is exactly why Ping have decided to manufacture this club. And I do think there's a market for it, but I'll be very interested to see how Brett gets on, because how would you rate your bunker play out of 10?
6.
You'd go as high as 6.
Why would you not? I always feel like I'd prefer to be in a bunker than where we've just been.
Yeah, fair play.
And I could put myself onto the green, but I wouldn't say I'd get close.
No,
I'm not playing
especially
just-
here where that
Yeah.
John's left is a beauty there.
Oh,
It's out.
it's terribly out.
And one of the things I think is interesting about this is you don't, so you've opened the face up there, you don't
Yeah.
have to open the face up.
Right, so I
Obviously
was actually going to try one then to not open
Yeah,
it
there's
up.
64 degrees of loft, so just
play it.
Speed an inch behind it.
Okay.
Love it. Oh,
Better.
that stopped absolutely dead
Yeah,
as
a little
well
bit of
behind the
stop.
flag.
And I think that's where I've gone wrong then, James, just opening it up.
Yeah,
Possibly.
I think there's a certain skill level to it. It's a different skill level, isn't it?
I think you're right.
Lovely. And it's funny because a lot of these clubs that are now coming out, again, I think of when my dad used to play and when he used to be in the bunkers, he'd go square faced and I used to go mental. Open the face up and use the bounce. But now the fact it's got 64 degrees of loft and 14.5 degrees of bounce already,
Yeah,
you just go square face and just hit it hard. Yeah. That's exceptional. So maybe not for off the turf, but I think out the bunker there, as soon as you square that face up, there's some fantastic shots there. And for me, like we've seen inside, there's a little bit of maybe a secret weapon here when it comes to that kind of 50-yard shot as well. Guys, if you enjoyed that, smash that subscribe button below. What are your thoughts?
It's staying it bag, I think, for them bunkers.
Is it?
Yeah, I liked it in here.
Right.
Once we got used to it.
Is it coming to Portugal?
It might make the trip.